Does that first five feel, and how does it sort of feel with the style you're trying to play of pushing pace, shooting threes?
It feels great. It feels great. I think we've been building a great relationship since Bahamas, and I'm just basically just focused on getting my wind up because I know everything else will take care of itself.
Terry Spoelstra talked a little bit about, since the trade last year, about you kind of recommitting or finding your defense that you had before. How much are you focused on the defensive end right now?
I mean, it's important. You come to a team like this where you look to the left and right, and everybody going to war, everybody playing defense, so you don't want to be that odd man in. It's helpful for the team to do that push. So, I understand that's what we want to do, and fit right in with it.
Supposed to have one of the good things about an unfortunate long off season is everyone has time to get everything right, to look back, to reflect, to find what they need to do. Did you find that you guys are sort of in a good place because you've all had time to get healthy, to heal, and understand what needs to be changed for this season?
Oh yeah, definitely. We had a lot of time to really reflect, get our bodies right, get our minds right. So now we're here. It's time to go. I think we all got one thing in goal in mind. So that's what we want to do.
Sorry, how much? I guess. Does it feel faster than it did last year? I know you didn't have like a full lot of the season, but in the early goings this preseason, how does that feel?
I mean, it's just right. Like I said, just trying to get my wind up. It's been a long off season, so but everything is right. We on pace to do the right things.
2 games is sort of a test run with this starting lineup. What does it feel like, and do you feel the more minutes as you play together, sort of that chemistry is growing?
Yeah, it feels good. Just getting out there on the court with the guys, just getting minutes, getting reps. I think that's the biggest thing at this point. Just being able to go out there and work through the different things, spacing, where guys like to be, guys' strength spots, and where they like the ball. So we've been working at it for a couple weeks now, since Bahamas, since training camp started, and everyone's open to it, and it's fun. So it's good.
Even though you guys have played together, you guys are playing almost a really different style. I mean, the pace is way up, the threes are way up. There was even one point you actually shot a 2, and sort of we were wondering if that was allowed or not. What's it like that you're sort of playing with the same guys but playing such a different game?
It's fun, but honestly, it's just free flowing, and everyone's, like I said, everyone's open to it. Everyone's playing the right way. That's the biggest part of it. Just playing the right way. Everyone on our team knows how to play the right way. So just buying into the system and trusting, the process of it.
You guys have put up 40-plus threes in all 3 preseason games. Is that just the preseason, or is that an emphasis that you guys have put to bump up the volume from three-point range?
No, we want to shoot layups and threes, honestly. I think obviously there'll be points throughout the game where we shoot twos, mid-range twos. And we know the time and place for it, but for our offense to be what we want it to be, we need to shoot a lot of threes. Particularly myself and Terry, just playing off of Bam and Jimmy, being able to, in that lineup, shoot those threes for that lineup, and then just playing the right way.
How much does Bam's emphasis now, in terms of shooting threes, does it change anything for you in terms of the spacing and the way that defenses are reacting to it?
I mean, definitely. I think there was a couple positions where he flared tonight, and I was able to play out of a closeout. I got to the rim, and there was no big there because Bam's, stretching the floor in a different way. So, I think just opening up the paint, if we have 2 guys down there, 2 plus 2 with the guy on him is 4, obviously. So that's just a lot of people in the paint. And with Bam and Jimmy spacing and shooting threes, it's just going to allow driving lanes for each other. And obviously Terry's an amazing driver getting downhill. So to be able to just create those lanes for our drivers and attackers will be important.
Tyler, you guys are leading the league. Before the game, you were leading the league in opponent turnover percentage, and I'm sure that stayed pretty high tonight. Spo was just talking about how valuable it is to have point-of-attack defenders, really committed to what he wants out of a disruptive defense. I know defense has been something you've been working on every year. Where do you feel like you're focused on that end, and how are you and Terry kind of meshing defensively to force turnovers?
Just being disruptive, trying to get in the passing lanes, use my speed to get deflections and get steals. I don't got the longest arms, but I'm fast and quick. I can use my speed to be disruptive in my own way. And then obviously around Jimmy, Bam, 2 of our anchors on defense. Obviously, they're able to protect in a different way. So just trying to fly around and make plays, knowing they got my back.
Okay.
Erik, your thoughts on just the emerging chemistry, those five together now for a second consecutive night? Your thoughts on how they're looking
Yeah,
together?
I like it, but who cares what the head coach thinks? They like it. They're comfortable. They're gaining confidence. And the most important thing is they're intentional about the work and the process of putting this together to start the season. And then we'll see what happens once we get into it, and we'll have to figure things out. But I love the intent so far.
I know it's just one preseason game, but how much was tonight kind of a representation of Bam's continuous evolution? Just 5 shots in the paint, the 3 threes, the 9 free throws, just kind of showing off the whole offensive arsenal.
Yeah, it was all of it. The facilitating, being able to draw fouls, that's so key. Finding those in the gap plays, or cutting behind the defense, or just going into an open space. Those are big plays. They're momentum shifting plays. Playing off the ball a little bit, setting screens for us, and then spacing the floor. That's what probably the only thing people notice. I'm seeing all the other parts of his game continue to grow, and that's needed. For our team.
I don't know if you can emphasize something that was never de-emphasized, but after the steal percentage, turnover percentage that you were forcing last year slipped a little bit numerically. What have you maybe focused on in training camp and preseason?
Yeah, to be who we're supposed to be more consistently. That's really the bottom line. Committing to it from day one. It's tough. This league is a challenge, to defend. All the skill, the aggressiveness, the spacing, the creativity, that each team is playing with right now. You can't do it unless you commit wholeheartedly to multiple efforts, the conditioning that you need to be able to defend at a high level, the elite communication, to be able to be on a string always, because you can have the best schemes, you're going to get broken down. At some point, you just have to make plays. There has to be an intuitive feel, and the only way, I believe you get that is by drilling it, working it, communicating it, talking about it, struggling through it, and just committing to that process. When you commit to it and realize, hey, you have to do tough things, it actually can be fun.
Looking at what Jimmy's energy and kind of the emphasis after all that stuff transpired, is that just kind of a good
yes
start, even if it is the preseason?
Yeah, it's been great. In training camp, he's like that. You put a score on anything, he's going to go after it, and we're the Heat, so we like all these kind of emotions, even if it's preseason.
Can you just kind of talk about what Jaime brings to that second unit? It seems like he got to the line a lot and kind of found his spots a little bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of skill and shooting, with that unit, and Drew can get the group organized. Duncan obviously creates a lot of different havoc on his own just by running around. K-Love gives you great spacing and savviness. They know how to manipulate the defense, but ultimately and AB was really good. He's just a really high IQ player. I knew he was a bucket getter, but he's a smart, intelligent player. He knows how to fit in and let a unit work. But you also need the ball to have a place to go to, when you get stuck. And that's what happened, a few times tonight. And that's part of Jaime's, talent, is he can create something out of nothing. And everybody can run around and do what we need them to do. And then all of a sudden you need the ball to go somewhere. You feel that he can create something aggressive going into the paint. And he's been intentional and diligent about working on, making plays as well. Because, teams are scheming him a little bit more if he catches it in that mid-post.
You've talked a lot about what Terry could bring defensively for you guys since making the trade in January. What do you think he's given you on that end of the floor in preseason so far?
He's committed to it. He understands how important it is to our defense for us to be disruptive and to do the things with the activity level. If you don't have a point of attack, aggressive defender, you can still do it. it becomes a little bit more complex. He's committed to that. This is also not a reinvention. It's kind of just remembering. This is the kind of player he was at Louisville. This is the player he was with Boston. And at times, there's different schemes in Charlotte. But this is, him committing to it where he knows that he can expend a lot more energy there, knowing that we have a lot of weapons offensively, on the other end. But the speed and quickness that he's bringing on both ends of the court, that changes our complexion.
Duncan obviously had a great start to last season, all the way pretty much 2/3 of the season until the injury came up. He looks like he looked early last year.
Oh, he's fully healthy. He's ready.
That's what I was like. Did you have any concern at the time that he would get back to this point?
When you have a super long off season, all of this stuff worked itself out. Anybody that was injured had like 2 months to rest and then start a very detailed program to get back, to health and do all the conditioning, the strength work, and all that stuff. He didn't skip any steps with that, and if he didn't get hurt, he would have looked much like he did now in the beginning of the season. He's that confident, and his game has grown with his skill set that much. Okay, thank you.